Everyone says bubble participants were delusional. They weren't. The conventional wisdom is clean. Bubbles happen because people are irrational. They get swept up in herd mentality, ignore the math, chase FOMO. It's a story about stupidity rewarded then punished. And it explains a lot at first. But here's the problem. The smartest people in history participated in obvious bubbles. Tulip traders in 1630s Amsterdam weren't peasants. They were wealthy merchants, mathematicians, botanists. Dot-com investors in 1999 included MBAs and institutional money managers. They had access to spreadsheets, earnings reports, the ability to calculate, yet they bought anyway. So what if the real explanation isn't stupidity, it's structure? When asset prices rise 300% in 18 months, the math changes. A rational investor looks at the fundamentals and thinks this is overpriced. But a rational investor also thinks if this trend continues 6 more months, I'm leaving 40% on the table. Both thoughts are mathematically sound. The tension between them is what creates the bubble. During a bubble, prices aren't completely disconnected from reality, they're just stretched. A tulip variety that cost 5 guilders in 1634 might have cost 50 by 1636. Not infinite, not random, stretched but defensible if you believed demand would stay high. The person who buys at 50, believing it'll hit 70, isn't necessarily delusional. They're making a probabilistic bet based on incomplete information. They are human. The real engine of bubbles is this: when price momentum is strong, the expected return from selling later often exceeds the expected return from selling now, even if you suspect the asset is overpriced. This isn't greed, it's arithmetic. A surgeon who buys Webven stock at $20, expecting it to hit 40, isn't stupid. She's calculating odds under uncertainty. The irrationality isn't in the calculation, it's in underestimating how quickly uncertainty resolves. Bubbles persist because they are rational responses to incentives that reward staying in too long. If you exit early, you look foolish to peers who stayed and profited. If you exit late but before the crash, you're a genius. The incentive structure doesn't reward accuracy, it rewards not being the last one out. That's why smart people stay. Not because they're blind, because the rules of the game punish early exit. When the bubble finally breaks, and it always does, the narrative flips instantly. The same people called genius in month 18 are called reckless in month 24. But the change wasn't in their rationality. The change was in the information set. The moment prices disconnect from any plausible future outcome, the calculation reverses. Suddenly, staying in is the irrational move. The bubble bursts not because people become stupid, but because the math finally stops working. So here's what bubbles actually teach us. They're not failures of intelligence. They're failures of incentive structure and information timing. The smartest people in the room can make mathematically sound decisions that collectively create something obviously unsustainable. That's not irrationality. That's the rational response to a broken game. Understanding that difference is what separates hindsight from actual insight. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to see how this pattern shows up across every major bubble in history, from the South Sea to today. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.